All right, good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. Well, again, a lot of amazing things are happening, and we're talking about Donald Trump and the Third Temple today. Interesting. November 11th, lest we forget all the sacrifices those who have come and gone before us have done and are still living indeed. Pray for the families and of the fallen soldiers and those who are in active duty, and we certainly need to respect them, and we need to give thanks to God for those who have fought for peace in the past and currently, and pray for peace. Indeed, we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem as well. Now, this is very interesting. This is coming out of, let me just make that go away. This is Israel365news.com, and we've spoken about this before, but this is coming up again because, Trump's second term. He's won a second term. And so this is coming out of the Midrash. Midrash hints that Trump will return glory to the Western world by building the Third Temple. Now, Trump and Netanyahu seem to already be talking about Iran. Trump is, very strongly for Israel, the nation of Israel. I think that bodes well for the country of the United States. That doesn't mean that the country of the United States will just be blessed. It may mean that, in fact, there is a resetting, and that may resetting of the economy, and that actually may be a long-term blessing, a blessing in disguise for the United States, long-term, at least until the Lord returns, and that is maybe a reset of the economy because the current debt is unsustainable. That's another subject. Let's take a look at this one because I think it's fascinating. And this is comparing Trump to Cyrus. And let's read here. Rabbi Yosef Berger. Now let me go here, make sure you can see this. Yes, you can. Oops, get rid of that. Too many things on my screen. So he revealed some amazing aspects of Trump's victory in the recent U.S. presidential election, notably his potential role in rebuilding the Third Temple. Now, this article is from November 4th, 2024, so today. But again, we spoke of it, a number of years ago about his potential impact in the Middle East. And it goes on and says, Trump's election is a necessary element of the Gula, or redemption, and a sign that Mashiach, Messiah, is imminent. Now, I'm not saying this is true, but this Rabbi Berger thinks it's true, and probably many Jews believe there is something to this. It says this is why Donald Trump in Gematria, Hebrew numerology, equals 424, which is the same as Mashiach ben David, or the Messiah from the house of David. So there's prophetic numbers there potentially that add up that are very interesting. Rabbi Berger pointed out, this certainly does not mean he will be the Messiah. Now, many people fall into that trap, saying Trump is a Messiah. No, I don't think we ever thought that. Maybe people label us, those people who are for Trump as thinking that he is the Messiah, but we certainly don't. But I think that's what mainstream media, that's the story, that's the narrative they try and tell. By the way, my video about those who are singing Amazing Grace after Trump was elected, the title of that video was sarcasm. I think it's incredible, in fact, that they are singing Amazing Grace. Some people took that wrong. If you saw the video I had prior to that, there was no audio on that video. I had to pull it down, but it was the same clip where I mentioned, experiencing shivers because they were singing Amazing Grace all in one accord in that video. And it's an amazing thing when people come together, politically and praise of the Lord. Let's continue here. So it doesn't mean he's Messiah by any stretch. The connection was so evident in Trump's connection with Jerusalem that in 2018, the Sanhedrin minted a coin with the profile of Trump. Now, that's something that, again, we talked about back then, superimposed on the Persian king of Cyrus. Persia, who is Persia? Well, that's Iran, right? So it goes on, and get rid of that too. So who facilitated the second temple, building the second temple in Jerusalem that ended the Babylonian exile in 538 BC? Cyrus was not Jewish. Likewise, Trump is not Jewish, but some think, and Berger thinks he will bring about the rebuilding. Cyrus's connection to the Messiah can be found in the book of Isaiah. The Persian king is the only known non-Jewish leader to be referred to in the Bible as Mashiach, literally the anointed one. The word for anointed one in Hebrew is Mashiach, or Messiah. Now, of course, the Jews are looking for Messiah. They don't recognize Jesus Christ as Messiah. But this was someone they, I guess, referred to as a Messiah. Thus saith Hashem to Cyrus, his anointed one, whose right hand he has grasped, treading down the nations before him, ungirding the loins of kings, opening the doors before him, and letting no gate stay shut. Does that sound like Trump in a sort of a way? At least what Trump is doing. He is all of a sudden bringing peace to the world, and he isn't even in office yet. He's opening doors, and he's kind of ruling over the nations, if you will. He is ungirding the loins of kings. He is scaring kings in other nations to the point where they are saying, all right, we'll come to the peace table. It's incredible. You have to admit what Trump has accomplished, and he isn't even in office. Like Cyrus, God put Donald Trump, this is in the words of Rabbi Berger, put Donald Trump in power in order to build the temple and to pave way for Mashiach, the Messiah. Like Moses, Trump began as a part of the common people, was revealed in his first success entering the White House, but was not hidden. Just like the second temple, the third will be built by non-Jews, Rabbi Berger said. This will only be fully revealed after Trump fulfills his role. So again, a rabbi in Israel suggesting that Trump could be fulfilling this man of Cyrus and what Cyrus did in rebuilding the second temple. And again, interesting that the Bible speaks of the last Trump and these sorts of things. I also will add that I think it's interesting that Pope Francis is still alive and well, or at least alive. And he is the last of the 112 popes from the prophecy. Prophecy of the popes. And I had a whole, this comes from St. Malachi's prophecy of the last popes. I have my keynote presentation up, which you can't see. But it's related to the resigning of Pope Benedict in 2013, and since then Francis has been the Pope, and he has been, in power ever since. He has never showed signs of giving up. And the suggestion is he the false prophet? And the prophecy of the 112 popes from St. Malachi, the prophecy of the popes, or the last pope rather, suggests that indeed the last pope, the 112th, will be the false prophet, and it gives him an interesting name. And so he is alive at a time when we also possibly could have the rebuilding of the third temple, and this is just one more suggestion, one more thing that goes towards that end in suggesting that the third temple could be rebuilt in our time. We're getting very close to it. All the dominoes are falling, all the pieces are coming together, if you will, and this Rabbi Berger seems to think this is exactly what is happening, and in fact that Trump could be the Cyrus of the day to rebuild the third temple. Wouldn't that be amazing? Keep your eyes open. A lot of interesting things are happening. I don't know. This is not Bible truth, but this is interesting ideas coming out of Israel and, in fact, the rabbis there about the return of the Messiah. The most important part, I think, is that they believe this points to the soon return of the Messiah, and I believe we are there as well. And now the Jews, when a Messiah comes, they will trust in him first, but they will trust in the Antichrist. It will be the Antichrist that they are duped into trusting. And that Antichrist, in fact, will be the one who rebuilds the third temple. Let me point that out, by the way. Or at least he will allow the Jews to rebuild the third temple. He will sit on the throne in the third temple, and he causes the abomination of desolation. When that happens, the Jews say, oops, we made a mistake. That's not the Messiah. That's when they will call on God, who they've rejected all these years since the death of Jesus Christ on the cross. Anyways, that's all end-time Bible prophecy. So another fascinating thing. Be prepared. We're living in the last days. Incredible things are happening. We don't know when, but if you say that we've been talking about this for years, let me tell you, if this was in the form of a Bible and we were reading through it, this would be only but a couple of chapters of the history of the world. It would be very short in our reading. When you look at the Bible and the things described there, they happened over tens of years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, but we read them in the span of 2 minutes or something, and we think it happened very quickly. When you look at it outside of time, it's actually a very quick thing that's happening, but we're seeing kind of slow motion history taking place before us. So it's an incredible time to be alive. Thanks for watching. I'll leave there. We'll see you in the next video.